Welcome back to the Lion's Den. I'm Gavin Dunkle. Today we'll be talking to indoor track and wrestling players and coaches. We'll talk to track coach Mike Adams after this break. Mike Adams is the head coach for both indoor and outdoor track. Today he joins us to talk about indoor. Welcome back to the Lion's Den, Coach.
Nice to be back, Gavin. Good to see you. You look good, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You look good too.
Thank you.
So, how long have you been coaching indoor?
I have been coaching indoor for 27 years now.
Was it a good 27 years?
Yeah, it's been a great 27 years.
It's good to hear. Well, what inspired you to start coaching?
I graduated from Penn State. I ran track at Penn State, and when I graduated, I wanted to get into engineering. I worked for a year in engineering, and then I didn't really enjoy it that much. But I obviously had a passion for athletics, and so I went back to school and got my teaching certification. I was fortunate enough to get a job here at Altoona, and I've been here ever since, coaching and teaching.
So you mentioned that you were a former track athlete. What kind of events did you run?
I was a 400, 200 runner.
Okay.
About 50 pounds ago.
What do indoor results tell you about outdoor potential?
They can tell you a lot, actually. We use the indoor season a lot to prime us for the outdoor season. So we like a lot of our kids to be running indoors so that when they get to the outdoor season, we're ready to go hit the ground running.
So kind of just like a preparation thing?
Yeah, it's a preparation thing, but we also expect, high performances as well, which we've been getting lately, so that's been nice. So
how do you balance individual goals along with the team goals?
Team goals are always first. I'm a big believer in relays. I love relays for track and field. But we obviously have standards that are programmed that we spell out pretty straightforward. We expect a lot of effort and attitude. Those are our two main things. And we let the goals, kind of take care of themselves. Kids set goals. They have individual goals. They have relay goals. They have things they want to do throughout the year. And we obviously work every day, step by step to achieve those goals.
Now, just last night, a pretty cool accomplishment. The girls set the 4x4 school record. Can you just tell us your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet, actually. We hadn't been running very well in the 4x4. In fact, our best time before last night was a 4:27. And then last night we dropped over 17 seconds in our 4x4, which is unheard of. And we got down to 4:10, and we broke a record that's been standing for about 5 years now. So it was nice. Those girls were pretty excited about it. We had Brianna Adams was our leadoff leg, and then it went to Brooklyn Weaver, then Anea Bartley, and then Ashlyn Nost. And Ashlyn Nost, by the way, also broke the mile record that's been standing since 1984.
Wow.
So that has been a long time standing record. So 2 records were broken last night.
That's nice. What, in your opinion, separates good indoor runners from great ones?
I don't know if I like to say good versus great. Like I said before, to me it's all about attitude and effort. Like, your potential is your potential, and I'm about maximizing an individual's potential. That's the most important thing to me. Everyone's on different levels genetically, but I believe that everyone can maximize their potential. And to me, that's what it's all about, maximizing your own potential. So that's what we talk about, just going in, working hard every day, having a good attitude, and then things will take care of themselves eventually.
So you're kind of more in the focus of wanting to develop the athletes?
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's what it's all about, just developing each individual athlete.
Can you share a memorable success story from your coaching career?
Oh, do I have to be the G version, or what's kind of what?
Whatever you want.
Probably one of the coolest moments for me as a coach was when my son, it's a father-son type of thing, when my son, his senior year, placed at Penn Relays first and foremost. He was third, and then ended up second in the state. Wow. His senior year. So that was a pretty cool moment for me, father-son type of thing.
Sounds like a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Now, what's the funniest excuse you've heard for a bad race?
Oh, boy. I've had a lot of them, actually. I think I'll just go to like a, Coach, I wasn't feeling well. I had stomach virus. Those type of issues.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. You can fill in the blanks from there.
And then what would you give, or what advice would you give to young athletes who want to excel in indoor track?
I mean, it's really just about, like I've been saying the whole time, like you gotta have a good attitude. You can't get down on yourself. You're gonna have good races. You're gonna have bad races. You're gonna have good performances, bad performances. But coming in and working hard every day, that grind, it's not easy when you don't feel good to come in and work hard. But if you do that every single day, things will pay off. You know what I mean? And that's the long run. That's what it takes. It's the discipline, really. It's the discipline of coming in and doing what you're supposed to do every single day, no matter how you feel. And that's just a life lesson, too. You know what I mean? So that's the type of thing I look for.
All right, well, thank you for joining us, Coach, and best of luck on the rest of the season.
My pleasure. Thank you, Gavin.
Next, we'll talk to track team members Emerson Snare and Michael Chisolm. But first, a look at recent scores. Emerson Snare and Michael Chisolm join us to talk more indoor track. Welcome to the Lion's Den, guys.
Thank you.
Now, Mikey, what's one thing that indoor track teaches you that outdoor doesn't?
I think it teaches you more about, I don't know, probably staying focused. Definitely, it's a different mindset, like the environment, like everything is much tighter than it is outdoors. So, yeah, it can get rowdy at times, but mostly just like staying focused and locked in.
Yeah, so speaking of that, does racing on a 200-meter track change anything for you?
Oh, yeah, definitely plays a trick on the mind, especially like with a 400. Is like you have to run 2 left instead of 1, so definitely plays a trick on the mind.
Emerson, what would you say is the weirdest thing about running on a banked track?
So like for some of the distance events, you start up in a waterfall. So when you're cutting off into where the first lane is, it's a hill, like you're going downhill. So it's definitely weird at first, but you get used to it, so yeah.
Now, I know you run distance, so a lot of those events can get crowded, especially with a smaller track. How does that work?
You just have to kind of get out and hope that no one cuts you off or you fall. We already had some incidents this year with people falling. I've already gotten spiked a couple times, but you just have to be aggressive.
What is one habit that you've picked up in indoor that's actually made you better?
This season I've really been focusing on my mental state because I struggled with that last year. So I've looked at a lot of races as workouts and then from there just giving it my all.
Okay. Mikey, how does indoor help you prepare for outdoor?
Obviously by setting goals, breaking a goal, like setting a goal for yourself to break and then preparing it for outdoor to try to get a better time or a better jump or whatever event you do.
Emerson, what event looks easy to outsiders, but it's actually the complete opposite?
I think the 800, that's probably the hardest event I run because, yeah, it's a distance event, but it feels like you're sprinting the whole time.
So what all events do you run?
Mostly the 4x8, 800 a mile.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Is the 800 your least favorite?
I wouldn't say any of them are my least favorite, but it's definitely the hardest.
Okay. Mikey, what do you think about before your events?
Probably eating afterwards. I love eating.
Wait, give me a go-to post-event meal.
Definitely Wendy's. Got to get 3 biggie bags, double cheeseburgers.
3 biggie bags?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 Frosties.
All right. And that's after you're done, right?
Yeah.
All right. Emerson, what is one misconception that people have about indoor track?
That, I don't really know, but I don't think people understand that we practice in those hallways right over there, and we're not really practicing on a track, so it gets hard to train and condition and do our best.
I mean, do they think that you're running outside?
I think they think we go to some type of indoor track,
Okay.
which we don't have access to, but yeah.
What's a typical workout in here look like?
For distance runners, if we're inside, we'll go to the other building and do treadmill, circuits, so 8 minutes on the treadmill, 8 minutes in the hallway, and then abs.
Okay. And Mikey, which event would you never want to try, even just for fun?
Anything distance. I don't like running to start with, so I wouldn't even know what to think of. Yeah, just no distance.
What events do you run?
It depends. I get thrown in a couple relays, 4x4, 4x2, also jump.
Okay. Emerson, what about you? What's an event that you'd like to stay out of?
Probably like 200 because I can't sprint, so that'd just be embarrassing.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Good. Oh, and also good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Don't miss a minute of great MLTV programming like the Lion's Den and live sports. Be sure to like this video and click the subscribe button below. Help us grow viewership by sharing our links and events to social media. Thanks for being an MLTV viewer.
Coach Gilbert has been the head coach of the wrestling team for 19 years. He joins us now. Coach, welcome to the Lion's Den.
Thank you.
Coach, what made you want to become the wrestling coach?
I started wrestling when I was 5 years old. Wrestled up through my collegiate years, and I wanted to get into coaching, and wrestling just seemed like a natural fit considering my background. And I always enjoyed the sport. It's ever evolving. It's always changing. There's always some good things and some bad things that happen, and it gets an opportunity to help kids out. And ultimately, that was my goal.
How does your experience in wrestling affect the way you coach?
I'll be honest with you, my experience in wrestling is, I had some good years and I had some bad years. So I had an opportunity to see it from all ends of the spectrum. And when you have that opportunity, you get to understand when guys are going through tough times in their careers. And it happens. Some years just things don't fall together for you correctly. And then some years you may come on as the year goes on. And, you look at it as not the highs and lows, but trying to stay somewhere in the middle with those guys to keep them focused and on track. And I think my background has really helped me in that aspect that, I've had that opportunity. I've been where they've been, the highs and the lows and also somewhere in the middle.
Are there any core values you emphasize in your wrestlers?
There are a lot of core values that I emphasize in our wrestlers. We take a lot of pride in making sure we get our work done. I do not tolerate swearing in the wrestling room. I make sure my guys wear headgears. I make sure they act appropriate when they're on the road. I even talk about how they dress, how they act. These are things that really I focus in on, just the small details of making sure that your program is on the right track, making sure we start on a certain time, making sure the guys are there at a certain time, making sure that the locker rooms are clean. It's just the little things to me that make a big difference. And those are the things that will make a difference, not just today as a wrestler, but tomorrow when they become an adult.
What do you think it takes to be a successful wrestler in high school?
To be a successful wrestler in high school today, it has really changed. These young men that you're going to see have put a lot of time and a lot of effort into getting to where they're at right now. They've probably put more time than any other athlete out there. They travel to clubs, okay? They travel to colleges. They wrestle all summer long. They wrestle in the top tier tournaments. So today's wrestler, their high-end wrestler, is better than it's ever been in the history of wrestling. Way better than when I wrestled 30 years ago. It's just they've put so much more in it. They've had better coaching. They are getting coaching from not just their high school coach. They're getting coaching from Olympians and college coaches on a regular basis. So ideally, they have put forth the time, their family has put forth the effort to get them there and spend the money for them to be where they're at today. And, it shows. It shows when they hit the mat out there that they have been trained by some of the best people in the world.
You mentioned the high-level tournaments. How important are they for the wrestlers?
To me, they are huge for the wrestlers because it's an opportunity for them to showcase their talent, to all of America, all the college coaches that are out there. So all the college coaches watch these tournaments and see how these young men do at these tournaments, and it leads to scholarships. It leads to getting money. And there's probably 4 of them a year, 3 of which are out of season, and then the other one is in season, the Powerade and maybe the state tournament. But overall, these tournaments are huge for these young men.
Now, is there a specific game plan going into a meet compared to going into a tournament?
There definitely is. You're allowed to move guys around in any meet. If they weigh in, let's say, at 152 pounds, you'll see Phillip Sarbo. He weighs in at 152, but he's available to wrestle at 152 and 160. So you kind of look at both lineups, both matchups, and you can even move guys up, or you can move guys at least stay at their weight or one weight above where they're at, and that kind of determines how the point system is going to work. There's also a flip, okay? They flip the coin out there, and that flip determines whether you have odd or even, and then you have to show your wrestler on whatever you choose. So if you choose odd, on the odd matches, you have to send your wrestler out first. If you choose even, you have to send your wrestler out in the even matches.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Coach. We will continue our wrestling talk with 2 athletes next after a look at the upcoming schedule.
Thank you.
Phillip Sarbo and Braiden Weaver are both athletes on our wrestling team. Phillip and Braiden, welcome to the Lions Den.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How long have you been wrestling for?
I've been wrestling for probably about 15 to 16 years. I've been wrestling ever since I could walk, basically.
And this would be probably my 12th year.
All right. What got you guys interested in wrestling?
Wrestling's always been around my whole life. I think my dad kind of pushed me into it, but I'm glad he did because it worked out pretty well. And I love wrestling, so yeah.
My siblings wrestled, so I've been around it for as long as I can remember.
So you guys both have family connections to wrestling. How has that helped you become the wrestlers you are?
It definitely gave me someone to look up to. Seeing that they've done it before, they know the sport, and I think that really helped me to know that one of my family went through it, the same thing I'm going through, and that they know the same love for the game that I do, so it really helps.
Yeah, probably gave me a better look at the sport and what really goes on and what kind of work you have to put in.
What goes through your head before a wrestling match?
For me, it's usually a lot of nerves, I feel like, but it's just the body getting the mind ready to go to war in that sense, to like go wrestle your match, but I'm usually thinking about scoring points, not really about winning as much, but I'm just thinking to score points and get better. So.
Probably to stay as calm as I can, to stay loose and just really focus on my match.
When you guys are in big matchups, how do you ease the nerves?
Like I said, I've been at the national level since I was around 12 years old. I've wrestled big competition my whole life, and I just know I put in the work and as much work as if not more. And I think that me knowing that I work hard and not skipping practice or reps, I think that that builds confidence into making me get the last takedown or beating the guy that I'm not supposed to beat. So.
Yeah, just believing in myself, staying as calm as I can.
So do you guys have a specific game plan going into a wrestling match?
Yeah, I think everyone should have a plan before they go into a wrestling match, but yeah, I think everyone should have a plan for going into the match, no matter who you're wrestling.
Now, Braiden, you're committed to Penn State for wrestling, which is the best wrestling program in the nation. What did you do to get there?
I worked really hard my whole life. There was times where I could have hung out with friends, but I decided to go to an extra practice instead. I've always tried to do the best to eat clean, try to do my best to turn in homework assignments now, but I definitely seen growth, and I know that I feel like I was made to be here, to go to Penn State. I feel like that there's no other school that I would have went to that would have fit me. So yeah.
You both are going to college and wrestling in it. What made you realize you wanted to wrestle in college?
I've seen it basically. my whole life growing up, I've seen like the best guys in college wrestle. Like if you're really good in high school, you go to college, you wrestle, you get your scholarship, you get the degree, and basically gonna set you up for life. It's exciting to see that a sport can really help you pay off college or really help you improve to the next step of your life just by being good at something. So I think that really made me want to wrestle in college and to see how good I can really get in the sport of wrestling.
Yeah, the free school and the opportunity that wrestling brings probably drove me to go to the next level.
Now, last question. What's the biggest adversity you have faced wrestling, and how did you overcome it?
I'll go first, bro. It was probably all the injuries I've gone through over my high school career, and it really, when you get injured and you have a big setback like that, it really shows you who you are, and it really shows like the type of work you're willing to sacrifice into the sport and overcome those things.
I think that my biggest adversity was, I don't know, I think just like a mental drop during the sport, because this sport is really tough on your mind and body mentally and physically. I think that really weighed down on me kind of around my sophomore year, but throughout, like, through the people that I love and people that cared about me, they kind of brought me back up, and now I'm back on track and I feel good and wrestling better, so yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Of course,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
And good luck at your next meet.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe to the MLTV Live YouTube channel to catch more Lions Den.